Hello everybody, it's Leslie. Welcome back. It's good to see you. And today I want to talk to you a little bit more in depth about losing weight quickly and keeping it off long term. So we have some secret ingredients and magic to share with you today. So stay tuned because I'm going to be explaining it to you later on in this video. First of all, just to tell you that I personally lost 21 pounds using these Herbalife Nutrition products, and I have not only lost that weight, but I've kept it off for 33 years. And I'm going to share with you today how you can too. So let's get started. Well, obviously the best way to lose weight, in my opinion, is through taking the right balance of nutrition that is contained in Herbalife Nutrition products. But, part of what we do is we also advise all of our members, customers, friends who are on the products, people who take part in our 21-day challenge, and so forth. And you can join that too if you wish. So, there'll be links down at the bottom here for you to join. But let me just explain a little bit more about the magic of what goes on in the Herbalife group. The first thing is that we support you and teach you how to use the Herbalife Nutrition products, but also how to just design your life in the way that makes it easiest, that fits in with you, and it's just something that you get to be able to do on a regular basis without suffering or cutting yourself off from the rest of the world in some way. It doesn't mean that you don't have to have fun. So you can still do all of those things. In fact, you can have more fun doing all of those things for longer than ever when you're using this amazing Herbalife Nutrition program. And that's what I want to share with you, because when I first got started, I had tried many different ways before to lose weight and been, I have to say, unsuccessful with all of them. Otherwise I wouldn't have been trying all these different forms of weight loss. But when I came across Herbalife Nutrition, of course, after my first week of just using the willpower and deciding that this was what I was going to do, which is what we usually do when we start any kind of weight loss program. But after my first week, and I went back to not being so good and trying my first Mars bar, my first bit of cheating, I must say that it wasn't very nice. It wasn't very attractive anymore. I didn't feel as though I was giving myself a treat. If anything, I found that that Mars bar was too sweet for me to manage. And I started to realize that what was happening was this business of sugar addiction. Now, you may not think that you're addicted to sugar, but unfortunately, all the things that we eat and drink today have had sugar sneaked into them. I'm sure you've heard this all over the place, but if you make it your mission to check every tin of baked beans, every packet of soup, every savory thing that you're eating, and check it out to see how many or what a percentage of the things that you are eating contain sugar. Breakfast cereals, anything that has labeling on has to say how much sugar is contained in it. And so even sugar alternatives can be harmful to you. So it's a minefield. You need to know and be able to trust the labeling of what you are consuming. Because what is happening is that sugar is being sneaked in to so many things that we eat today, unknowingly. So I'm not going to go into the particular things, but I do want to just point out to you that it's there. Even in things that you think would be savory, so there'd be no need for sugar, sugar is often added to give it that extra zing. So we get accustomed to eating sugar all the time. Now, the fast way of losing weight, which I promised you when we started, was to just look at how much sugar you have that you know about. So, for example, if you're putting 1 or 2 spoonfuls of sugar in your coffee or tea, Some people even sprinkle sugar on their cornflakes or their grapefruit or whatever it is that they're having just to make it palatable. That kind of, that white stuff, or even if it's brown sugar is as bad for you as white sugar, by the way. So if you were to cut out all of that sugar from your daily intake that you know about, the obvious sugar, then generally speaking, most people lose about 7 or 8 pounds within their first week to 2 weeks. Now that's shocking to think that that can happen when you cut out sugar. You can also suffer a little bit of withdrawal. And it literally feels like you've been on a drug and you've taken that drug away and you're going into some kind of shakes or whatever. So that can happen if you've been having too much sugar and then you suddenly pull it out, which is a really clear indication of how much of a drug it can be. Then, as I went on my Herbalife journey after my first week and discovering that this Mars bar that tasted way too sweet was part of this whole scenario that was going on around me, not just with the things that I knew contained sugar, but also with things that I didn't know contained sugar. So I became a little bit of a label fanatic. And I must say, when I looked at the first Herbalife Nutrition shake that I was going to take, I looked at where it said sugar and sweeteners and things like that. And I want to distinguish that for you right now, because there are places on the Herbalife products that actually say with added sugar and sweeteners. Now, we need to distinguish a little bit more here, because while we're being super careful about the sugar that we're eating and all the food that we're getting, we also need to know the difference between a good sugar and a not so good sugar. Okay, now a good sugar is the sugar that you get in fruit and vegetables. So, an apple can be sweet because it contains the sugar fructose. Pretty much every other sugar is not good for you. So, they say an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Well, the sugar that comes from an apple is the kind of sugar that is being used in the Herbalife Nutrition shakes. We also have a very special sweetener called stevia, and stevia is a good sugar as well. Stevia, I believe, I don't know very much biology, but I believe it is derived from the nectar of certain flowers. I'm not even going to try and explain all this, because it's come to the point where I have used Herbalife Nutrition for 33 years, and I am so much healthier than anybody I know. So, apart from the people who have used Herbalife Nutrition for 34 years or more. So, what I know is that I've learned to trust that whatever kind of sweetening or sugar Herbalife Nutrition put into their products is 100% safe, if not good for you. So I want you to borrow my eyes, take some trust from me, and realize that I've tested it for 33 years. I've tested the Herbalife selection of sweeteners and sugars. And the reason why it's put on the label is because Herbalife Nutrition abide by every rule, regulation and law of all the 95 countries in which they sell their products. So, as a result, Herbalife Nutrition is honest and truthful about the fact that if there's something in there that's going to sweeten the product, it's going to be on that label. And so don't confuse that with some of the other sugars that you might be seeing on the less, let's say, scrupulous companies, okay? So I'm not here to, lambast anybody or any company. I'm just here to distinguish between kind of sugars that you should and shouldn't be eating, kind of sugars that are safe, and kind of sugars that are not good for you. Now, all these other sugars that are not good for you are ways of contributing to not only your weight gain, but also your inability to lose the weight that you want to lose. I am saddened when I went shopping yesterday, and while I was in the shops, I looked at the people around me and I thought, there must be over 50% of people in this shop that are overweight, and not just a bit overweight, but very overweight. They're having to, wear very, how can I put it, like tense, very concealing outfits just to cover their bodies. But I'm not criticizing them. I just feel that, they have no other choice because they do not know about the things that I know. And it's sad. And so I want to be in a position where I can help more people by sharing what I do know. And so this is really why I'm sharing the secrets of my long-term weight loss. I cut out my Mars bars and sugars to begin with, and then I started studying what kind of sugars were good for me and what kind of sugars were definitely not good for me. And it's been a simple matter of making those choices wherever I go. When I go shopping, there's certain things that I just don't buy. When I go to a restaurant, there are certain things that I just don't order. When I'm presented with food from people offering me things, there are certain things that I just don't have. However, that's not to say I never ever have those things, because if I'm in a social setting where somebody offers me a nice, a petit four, little cake that's been specially made with nice little decorations on it, covered in white icing, you know what? I'm not going to say no to that because it's polite. It probably would be nice to have, although I'm not convinced, but I do eat those things and it doesn't kill me and it's not the end of the world. I still can maintain my social standards, but I'm not a completely, oh no, I can't have this kind of person. I'm perfectly open to having the occasional different thing in my diet. And that's fine because I know what is the normal content of my diet. And that's the difference. So I am really, really open to help other people who want to be helped. I am always inviting new people to join our group and learn from us. If it's not for you, it's not for you. That's fine. But what if it is for you? What if it could make a difference? What if it is something that you've been seeking for some time now? What if we can make a difference to your long-term health? That is really what I'm focused on doing. So if you enjoyed this and if you would like to hear more like this, please subscribe, click on the notifications bell, write a comment, share it with your friends, and I look forward to talking to you again really, really soon. Bye for now.